Hi, everyone. Welcome to our November meeting of the Acquisitions SIG for KOHA. I just wanted to welcome everyone. And this month, I wanted to take a little bit of time to go over the 2205 release notes focused on acquisitions. And then if we have any other questions or comments or anything after that. So if that works for everybody. I have the, so first of all, is anybody early adopters for Bywater on this particular release? Nope. Okay.
Our test server is upgraded, but we're not.
Okay. We are on it. We are early adopters and we are using it. There's a few little weird, differences and stuff like that. So, but we'll focus on acquisitions.
When is the scheduled release?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, when is the scheduled release?
Oh, I think the Bywater people are getting it next month. Is that right?
So I haven't heard a date yet. So there are webinars scheduled. I'm looking for that. The webinars are scheduled next month, and then there's a Q&A town hall in January. So I would assume that between December and January will be when we're mostly getting upgraded. But I keep meaning to open a ticket and just ask Bywater where we're at. But I haven't heard specifics yet. And I did find that there's their upgrade hub, which has the dates for the webinars and whatnot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got early release people. I think our date was the 30th of October. And usually that's like a month before everybody else. So I would say maybe the end of this month, the beginning of December, probably the beginning of December is when everybody else will get moved. Okay, so I'm feeling a little unprepared, so hang in there with me. Still trying to get caught up on all the rest of, I'm supposed to be hiring a new position and all kinds of things, and I want to get this done too. So if, here, I'll put the link in for the release notes for 2205 in the chat. And then we can kind of look through those two together. So what I did was just the first part is new features. And then if you scroll down ways, you get, there wasn't anything for acquisitions in the new features. And then enhancements, that's when we got, there are some enhancements for acquisitions. So the first one is add a preference to turn Edifact off. So I guess I wasn't aware that you needed to turn that on or off, but there's a preference out there for turning Edifact off. That's kind of self-explanatory, I guess. The next one is use new table column selection modal for opaque suggestion fields. So this, this changes the selection of values for opaque suggestion unwanted fields and opaque suggestion mandatory fields from drop-down lists to a modal. So if you go in, I was going to do this. Let me. So, just got to double check that this is upgraded to 22055. Okay. So if we go to, let me share my screen. Okay, can you see my koha-US homepage
Yep.
thing? Okay. Then what it used to be, here's administration. And if we look in system preferences, oops, one more. I am not going to type this all back in. So this is the OPAC suggestions unwanted field. So there's an unwanted one, and then here's the mandatory one. And fields that should be hidden for patron suggestions. So now when you click on it, it used to be a drop down. Now it's this little modal window that pops up, and then you just click whatever you want. It's a little, instead of having to actually type in the things with the I don't know what you call that, the bar, the pipe, I've heard it called lots of things. In here, you can just click and pick the things that you don't want. And then if you go to this one, it's the same kind of thing where it pops up and, you know, the author is required and the item type is required for this. Or you could change it to, you know, add, I don't know, ISBN. So now ISBN is included in here. So that just is user-friendly and a much easier way to do that kind of stuff. And then if you would go to, oops, the OPAC, there's the demonstration site for the OPAC. And if I would go in here and log into my account, then let's say I want to do a purchase suggestion. Okay, so I've got one here. Then I want to do a new purchase suggestion. You can see that now ISBN is required, where before it wasn't. So that's just easier to deal with. You know, you don't have to remember to type, you know, you don't have to know field names and all that kind of stuff. So it's much easier. Any questions about that one? That one's, you know, you kind of set it in the beginning, I think, and then run with it. The next one is add column configuration to the acquisitions homepage. Okay, so.
Excuse me, Rhonda, on the
Yes.
last one I put in the chat, I thought I had seen a Monday minutes, and I could be incorrect, that the staff interface for suggestions was changing as well with this new release, or we had the option to change the columns or the, just like you can in the OPAC. Is that correct, or has that always been there?
Ooh, okay, so let's look. I think the next part of it might be what they were talking about. There it is, man. Okay, so here we've got the suggestions. Oh yeah, okay. And so run your question by me again. I don't know if you heard, I've been out sick all week, so my brain is like running at 3/4 speed right now.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I can check in my emails or the Monday minutes. I thought there was some configurations. Maybe it's just turning on or off these columns, like
That's what I think it is we can go in and this is for the one time only kind of, or one time for this particular instance to change these column settings. But I think this other add column configuration to the acquisitions homepage, I think what that does is like a number. I made this assumption. I didn't actually check it. Oh, Barbara, you can help us out here. It would be helpful to be able to hide columns from the accounts table when viewing available funds on the AC home page or single library. Oh, okay. So this is a little bit different. Okay. So here. So it's not this, it is this. So we now have this column setting here, and we can, we don't care about the library because we're just a one site, and we don't care about the owner, so we can make that go away. I think that's what that bug does.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I was trying to remember what I even, that's so long ago.
Yeah.
Hard to remember, but yeah, I think that's what the intent was.
Okay.
Yeah, and it looks like it also adds it to the table settings in the administration menu, so you can set the defaults and stuff there.
Okay. All right, so let's show that. So we go to administration, and then I always have trouble finding this.
It's in the lower right. Yeah, under additional parameters.
Okay.
Table settings.
Table settings.
Yeah.
That's not plates and saucers. That's
right.
Table settings. Okay.
And then it'd probably be the acquisition, that top.
Okay, so here's acquisition home. Okay, so these two you can't mess with, but if we hide this by default, and what was the other one? Owner that I did, save. And then if I open a new instance of, let's go up here. This is why I always end up with 27 bajillion tabs open. So now when I open it, that doesn't show, the library and the owner don't show up here, just this information. So does that seem right to everybody? Okay. All right, the next one is add acquisitions toolbar to vendors on vendor search page. So this patch updates the vendor search results page in acquisitions so that a button toolbar is shown for each vendor in search results. This gives quick access to operations for each vendor, like editing, adding to basket, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so if we go to, I'm going to close some of these before we get too crazy. Okay. Back to acquisitions. And then, I'm just going to put A in here and see what we come up with. Okay, so here's Amazon. So here's our vendor page. Do we know what this is supposed to be doing? This doesn't look that different.
So go back one page.
Go back one page.
It looks like it's talking about these little toolbars under each vendor.
Oh, okay.
And see the
So,
little summary beside it with the number of baskets, open baskets. See, there's
okay.
one open basket that you can jump to.
One. Okay. So we can click on that and here's our basket with nothing in it.
I thought we've always had those. I interpreted that, maybe I didn't read it correctly, that there was going to be, see how you have saved things on your toolbar, Rhonda, up on the top?
Mhm.
I interpreted that when you read it, and again, I didn't look it over carefully, that they would all be available quickly, all the vendors by it appearing on a toolbar. And
Oh, I see. So like even back here, like you could,
is that what it said on the bug? I mean, on the upgrade or?
let's see, this patch adds updates the vendor search results page in acquisition. So it's the vendor search results page. That was the one that we were on, so that a button toolbar is shown for each vendor in searching results. Okay, so yeah, I think what Jason is saying, this gives quick access to operation. Okay, so if we go here and, you know, underneath here, we can say new basket, new contract, new vendor. We can edit the vendor or we can delete the vendor. I don't think this was there before. And that's what they've added, because it's definitely the search results page for the vendor.
Rhonda?
Yeah.
Up at the top, where it has the first drop down there and it has Abe Books in that drop down. Was that
Ooh,
always there? Or was that part of it where you could
that-
jump quickly instead of scrolling? I can't remember.
yeah, that might be, I don't remember this here. Choose
Yeah,
a vendor.
that's not on mine. So we do have all those other buttons though. The receive shipments and edit vendor and new are on mine, and we have the old version. But when you look
Okay.
under each vendor, it'll just say new basket and receive shipment. But I think Barbara's right. I don't see that other part there, the drop down.
This one,
Correct.
where you can go directly to Baker and Taylor. And then, and what you're saying is these buttons are there on yours. The new. Okay. Yeah, I guess so, you know, if you wanted. Oh. So if you just leave the vendor field blank and click search, then you can just use this to move around between the vendors, I guess. Let's go back here. Okay, now the number of open baskets and subscriptions is shown for each vendor in the search results. So that's what Daphne was pointing out. This right here wasn't there before. And Christie, can you confirm that on your system?
Correct.
Okay, so this has been added and this up here has been added.
I think that one up the top was always there, Rhonda.
Do
But
you?
the
Okay.
Buttons, new, edit vendor and receive shipments underneath each individual one is different.
Okay. Okay. All right. Those are all useful things to have. Just makes less clicking, which is always good.
And then it mentions about inactive vendors are styled differently.
Are now styled differently than active vendors in order to prove. Okay. So can we make these all look like they're styled the same? So I'm assuming they are all active. So we're going to, oh, let's not pick one that's got, let's pick one that doesn't have any baskets and edit it. And I'm guessing somewhere underneath here,
Under
I've never-
ordering information, you can mark it as inactive.
inactive. Okay. And then if we go back here. Okay, so it's now not the blue hyperlink. It literally says inactive and it's the title is grayed out. So that, yeah, that makes it pretty clear that there's nothing, that's an inactive vendor. Well, that's good. I won't accidentally click on this one to when you're trying to order something from Amazon or something like that. Okay, so inactive vendors are now styled differently than active vendors in order to prove. Okay. Any questions about the different things updated there? Okay. The next one is allow setting EDI type at the vendor level. Okay, there are two predominant competing EDI standards, this and that, with subtle differences in how they interpret some EDI message fields. This patch allows administrators to pick which standard the vendor is conforming to rather than using a hard-coded and unmaintained SAN mapping in the module. Okay. That sounds like something that happens at setup, I would guess. Is anybody interested in actually exploring this more or not really?
Could you click on the link and to see?
This one?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, we can look. EDI has some code paths that are different depending on the hard-coded list of vendors that support this standard as opposed to this standard. We should allow setting this flag at the vendor definition level in the UI. So if we go back here and we look at this one and we do this,
I think it's in the EDI setup, Rhonda. That's what it
oh,
sounds like.
that's, yeah, you're right. That would make more sense. This patch.
I think it's only going to be relevant for if you have European suppliers and they're using a different standard.
Yep. Yeah, because I think it's kind of US kind of uses one standard and Europe uses a different. Is that kind of your understanding?
Yeah, I think that EDI EUR one is the main European one, but I think it said somewhere Ulverscroft use the American one, and I think that was upsetting some of the European libraries.
Oh, okay. Okay. That makes sense. All right. So we probably don't need to worry about that too much. Okay, this looks like nitty gritty kinds of stuff too. We should allow configuration of whether EDI LSQ segments map to location or collection. That sounds like a setup kind of thing too. All right. I'm just going to move on to the next one. Add select all clear buttons to invoices, open and closed tables. I was trying to figure this one out right before that. Oh, and to make life even more interesting, my computer just froze right before this meeting as I was trying to prepare. So there we have it. So I was in the middle of trying to figure this one out, and that's when nothing worked anymore. To invoices. Okay. Invoices. I wonder if we have invoices. Oh, yes, we do have invoices. Okay. So here's a select all, clear all. So if I select all, clear all, and on the closed page, I think that's what that one does.
Mhm.
Okay, so this last one here is add a patron reason column to the suggestion table in the staff interface. This adds the patron reason for a suggestion to the suggestion summary table on the staff interface. Now, I hadn't explored exactly how to turn this on. Make some patron reasons. Oh, we have to use authorized values. Okay, so if we go in here, go to authorized values and oops, I do that every time.
So it's OPAC_SUG. Yeah.
There,
I
okay.
had to create this one because my system is so old, I guess. I don't know. Like, I didn't have this category at all.
Okay, so we've got two of them created already, yes. Bestseller and damaged. The copy on the shelf is damaged. So if we go back, I think this one is it. Give the reason, make several suggestions via the staff, client, and or OPAC and apply some of the reasons you just made. Okay, so if we go, oops, too far. Okay, so here's our OPAC, and here we have our reason for the suggestion. The copy on the shelf was damaged, or upcoming title by popular author. Let's pick that one. And then we submit. Oh, it's going to yell at me. I don't need, well. ISBN. Pick one. Okay. And it's going to be a book. Okay. And we're going to submit it. All right. So here is the one we just submitted. And then if we go to the here, suggestions. And we can see there's a patron reason field and it says upcoming title by popular author. And here, we've got another one like that too in here. So that's an option, you know, and of course, if you don't want people to give reasons, you go into the OPAC unwanted fields and remove that option from the list. How many people think this is something that you'll turn on or use or find helpful? Do you, I guess the first question is, do you allow suggestions from patrons? No.
We do. When I was looking at this, I was trying to think like, would we really care about the patron reason? I mean, like, I was trying to think of things that would to fill that list with. I mean,
Right.
these are some good ones. It's a bestseller, but like, if it's a bestseller, we're probably gonna buy it anyways. Maybe like I saw it on a TV show. That'd be good information because sometimes we miss those things. But if they're
Right.
telling us, then that would add weight to actually accepting the. So I guess I was just trying to come up with reasons that would add weight to actual making the purchase.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want it isn't a good reason,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Yeah, my neighbor said it was good. Barbara.
We haven't decided whether we're going to use it, but missing in series is one that people tell us a lot and which we're glad to know.
Yeah.
So that could be one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
So there's currently a note field, correct? So
Right.
patrons now they'll have a note field and a patron reason field.
Yes. Yeah, so there's still the note field, which
That is right there.
it's basically right here, you know, you need to purchase, and that's right now where everybody puts all their stuff. And a lot of times, you know, it will be like, you know, you'll have your standard stuff. You know, some people go into Amazon and copy the description of the book in there, you know, stuff like that. That's really not helpful. But sometimes they'll say, you know, the high school is reading this book, you know, and then we're like, oh, okay, we'll get 5 of them instead. Because we know, you know, but that, I don't know that that would be a reason that I would actually put in the pre-populated reason list. You know, it's those one-off kind of strange things that that they'll tend to put in there. You know, oh, this is by a local author, or, you know, stuff like that. So sorry. So, and Barbara, you said that you hadn't really decided if you were going to use it yet. Is that right?
Yeah, we hadn't even talked about it yet for this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about it either. I just think the notes field kind of covers that. I'll have to check and see. Go ahead.
The advantage of having it as an authorized value list is it's controlled. So like, if you want to run a report on all the ones that are local authors, that sort of thing, then you're getting consistent information.
Yeah, yeah, that is a good point. Okay. So that is that. And then I think we have to do a lot of scrolling. I'm going to cheat. Oh, here's critical bug fixes. This list included all bug fixes since the previous major version. Most of them already been fixed in maintenance releases. So these won't be, these are probably already on your system for this. So.
Hey, Rhonda, the one I think maybe Christie was talking about was this Monday minutes. I'll put it in chat if I can.
Okay.
Get there. It's about using, like, you can turn it on so that the patron can put in an ISBN and search Google Books for their patron suggestion.
Yeah. Okay. I remember seeing that Monday minutes too. Yeah. So if we go to, do they tell us?
Yeah, there's a system preference you have to turn on if you scroll
Yeah.
down.
Okay, right here. Yeah, I was kind of toying around with this one too at one point. So in this one, it's OPAC suggestions form automatically fill with data from Google Books API. So if we enable this, is that all that we had to do? So enable, turn the feature on.
That should
Okay.
be it.
All right, then we will go back to this one. Nope, this one. All right, so I'm just gonna, do I have to like,
I think you just do a new suggestion and it should be there. Yep.
okay, yeah, it's there. So if I put in a what? So we go here, we click on this, we grab this ISBN, we stick it in this one, put it in here. Oh, I wondered about that. Copy. Okay. There we go. Oops. And then, oh, it says, sorry, nothing found. Why did it say sorry? Not, oh, because
of the system preference, probably.
Yeah, because it didn't understand what a system preference is. So you put in the ISBN and then it just fills in all this stuff for the patron. So you're less likely to get spelling errors and other stuff. And if they do it this way, you will get an ISBN. The only question would be, like this may be the hard copy that's not available anymore. So you may have to get the paperback or, something like that. But at least you know that you've got the title and the author correct. Is this something that you think people will, that you'll turn on?
I don't see any harm in turning it on here, so we probably will.
Yeah.
Does it work, Rhonda, if you don't have the ISBN and you just put in a title? Will it find the ISBN?
Oh, okay. So let me clear the form. And so like this, just put in all the light we can. Is that how it was? Cannot see.
Mm-hmm.
And then search. No.
No.
What if you typed that in that box above? Because it does say other, or does that just
Or
mean
other.
number?
No, that's
other
another
numbers.
control number. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's looking for something in there.
No, do you know Google Books probably is only indexed on ISBN?
Oh,
It's
okay.
not.
Yeah.
It's not the Library of Congress, so
Right. Yeah, that's true. So, okay. That is, yeah, it doesn't hurt to put that in so that people can see that. Okay, so this was the paperback that we just searched on. If I select the hardback, there we go. And put that in here. That doesn't look like the right author. Gee whiz.
on that publisher.
Yeah, right. And the publisher is not correct either. Is that hardcover? Let me try the, I guess, garbage in, garbage out, as they say. Let me clear the form just for now. Do I have to take that dash out of there? I don't want to. Oh, that looks a little better. So we could still get some interesting information from the Google search as well. So, okay, that is kind of, it's kind of cool. Get some, as long that just really, I want to make sure that I copied this right. I didn't leave. I mean, it got the right title. Yeah, gee whiz.
Yeah, if you search that ISBN up in Google Books, like go to books.google.com, it does bring up this weird 101 amazing facts you didn't know about all the light we cannot see.
Oh,
So it's a
so,
problem in their database, I guess. Like you said,
okay.
garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So
Do
who
you
knows?
use 10-digit ISBNs very much though?
We don't.
You see,
I-
in Europe, like we don't think about them. So is it entirely accurate, or is it just somebody putting in a play record for that?
Well, yeah, that's
Look at the
interesting.
13-digit, it's completely different, and it should only, you know, positions 4 to whatever 12 should be the same as the
As the 10.
10-digit one. It should
Mhm,
just have the 978 on front of it and a different checksum at the end. But if
mhm.
you go back to the previous one, it's something completely different.
Yes, yeah,
So
yeah. I do, you know, like as far as staff go, we use the 13-digit one, but I have seen patrons put in the 10-digit one, especially in a situation like this where they see ISBN 10, they'd be like, oh, okay, great, I'll grab that. So I don't know, because a lot of times people, our folks will give us like links to Amazon for the book, you know, in the notes field, they'll put the link to the Amazon record. But yeah, I mean, you still get, which one is it? You still get the title. I don't know if that's, sometimes that can be enough, not always. Sometimes the title is not unique. That's why we require the title and the author, because often that combination will get you something specific.
So this isn't strictly acquisitions related, but I find this functionality interesting because there used to be a way you could, there used to be an online utility where you could punch in an ISBN and it would whip up a fake bare bones mark record from Amazon. It would pull that data. So I wonder if we could bring that back, because my catalogers really like being able to like start with something
Right.
when they're doing original catalog. I wonder if we could move this functionality over to cataloging to pull some data in via ISBN.
Put a ticket out there, man.
Yeah, I know. I got a long list of tickets I need to write.
I know.
Buried under a pile of other stuff.
Yeah.
I
But
have a
that's
comment. Oh, sorry, go
Mhm.
ahead.
No, that's, I'll
Um,
pass.
regarding, I think Rhonda, you have had this issue. I know Marcy has, and I'm sure many of us in acquisitions. So I created that bug, the 31092, and it's regarding batch item imports. Because when you have a full catalog record, you don't want to, many of us don't want to overlay it with a
Right.
new record. So I put in the ticket, and Bywater, I was suggesting that they go off of the leader. Which I think is the first line of the mark record, and there's a way to tell by the leader if it's a full record or not a full record. And I think many ILS programs utilize that. Nick had said someone put in, and library had put in for a request that any fully cataloged record be blocked. The reason why I'm throwing this out there is because we were going to get an estimate on this, although I think it should be a permanent functionality of Koha to match up what other ILS systems can do. and I don't know who that other library was, but we may be getting a bid for one or the other. Also, I'm going to post in the chat, the Monday minutes yesterday that I watched did have a new functionality with the batch imports. And I thought, oh my gosh, is this going to solve our problem?
Right.
But it wouldn't import still the item records, which I would need, which would be the barcode and, you know,
Right.
the call number and that kind of thing. Although this new functionality was nice to have, it didn't offer a solution to the batch imports.
Okay. Yeah, I was
just wanna know,
thinking,
does anyone else have that problem? Rhonda, you created different accounts for the vendors, which I just had to do. And I don't know if any other library has done the same or has that issue. Anyhow, I'm kind of prefacing this because we may be getting a bid, and I don't, again, not knowing who that other library is, I was going to throw it out to those of us in acquisitions to see if any other library would be willing to go in if it did cost a sum of money to get this resolved in Koha. So I just want to mention that today.
okay. No, that's great, Christie. So basically, if I can summarize what you said, it would be the functionality that would, so would you want it to, would you want, like, if Koha found a match in the catalog, you would, what you're saying is the other library would be like, no, never, don't ever overwrite something that's already in the catalog. Is that what they were saying?
Correct. So yeah,
Okay.
if we had a full record only, I mean, sometimes you have the on order records, which are
Right.
obviously not complete records, but there's a way to tell. I was trying to look for my bug because Andrew added to it. Let's see, it was 31092. There was another bug that was similar. I don't know if Jason, if you already have that up or if anyone has a quicker way of, oh, here I have it. I'll post it in the chat. So this was a solution that was recommended to me by the vendors looking at the MARC leader. And again, Bywater got back to me and they're trying to find a way to block it if it's a complete record. I don't know how they're planning to do that, but either way, if it satisfies the end result, then I think we're good.
Okay. So that, so what the other library was suggesting is just if it's a full record, basically, so a 1, no, a blank or a 1 would indicate a full record. Is that true?
Yeah, so it'd be in the, see on the leader up above, it'd be in the 17 space.
I feel
Okay.
like this should be like, shouldn't Koha's match checks be able to do that? Like you match on the 020 and then check the leader of the incoming versus the existing. And if it's a blank or a 1, don't import. If it's not, do import. Maybe that's what they're proposing.
That's what I was proposing. Yeah. And they were talking about something a little bit different, but like I said, either way it works. And then I think at the top, Andrew linked another, see also 28486 on the right side. Yeah, and I didn't get a chance to really dig into that one, but Andrew said it was related.
Guys lost when using add order button.
So again, I think this is a continuous issue for many of us, and
Yeah.
it would be nice, and I think it would be a simple fix, like I told them, a simple script just to write in. So we'll see what happens with it, but I'll update you as I get updated.
Okay, that sounds good.
And I think also this Christie, if you can get a quote, this is a good time to mention that the koha-US development committee is looking for developments to help fund, and that sounds like a good one to me. So if you want to submit that, that might be one that koha-US can help work.
And where do do you have a link for that, Jason?
Yeah, give me a second, I'll put it in chat. You just go to that page on our website, the big propose a development button at the top. Will take you to the form. And since you've already got a bug number, I think there's just a little bit of information you need to get the initial submission in.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, they ask for the cost estimate and the bug number. Those are the two main things, I think. And then if your library is willing to put some of the money in or not, just so they have an idea. But yeah, this is a great way to see if, koha-US tries to do at least one development a year so far. Is what our deal is. So, that's one of the ways we give back to the membership is by sponsoring developments. That is great. Oh, okay. I just am smelling people's lunches. So here that must mean that it's almost noon. I'm next door to the staff break room, so I always have the joy of smelling people's lunches. Does anybody have anything else? Christie, definitely keep us up to date on this proposal, because I know not overwriting existing records is a goal we all want to achieve. So, okay.
I have sort of a time filler question real fast.
Sure.
So imagine a world where a library has lots of funds but no library, so they want to to buy an opening day collection.
Yes.
Is it possible for the vendor to generate the records and the item records, and all I have to do is import the vendor file to bring all their stuff to life in my catalog? Like, I think it is, but
I think it should be.
so like I can map all that item level stuff to a 952, right? Tell them what I want in the 952.
Uh-huh.
And then they can generate the items along with the MARC records, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't do any of the like EDI, all that stuff. Like we're always just adding stuff. So I'm not familiar with that part of it. And I don't work with any vendors, so I don't know what their capabilities are. But I've heard you guys talk about like gridding and all that sort of stuff. So I think, okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
EDI should do all that, and Gobi have their own API. Now we tested it once and one client used it, so I don't know, and then they moved away from Gobi, so I don't know if that's still going. And then some of them will even barcode them for you. So if you supply barcodes, and then you literally just have to, well, they say you just put them on the shelves, but I'd still count them coming out of the boxes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we were thinking. Like if this library has enough money to have everything come pre-processed with barcodes and all, then it shouldn't be a problem to have those item records generated and just import them. Cool.
Yep. Yeah.
Now you probably have to default, them to just one location, but maybe that they are going there.
Yeah, so we're a consortium, so they would all be going to a separate branch. Like I would have all the home library, holding library set to a single branch code. As far as shelf location, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, it can be that, or it can even get down to item types. But if you're buying enough from the supplier, you could ask them to batch them for you.
Okay.
So that you knew when an order or an invoice was coming in, that they had the items that had gone to library A, and in library A, you'll have to do a default, you know, on the item type if you have different item types. But there would be libraries in Europe that would do that.
Okay.
And then, as I said, it just depends how much money you're spending with the supplier. The more you spend, the more amenable they will be.
That's good to know. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, I have one real not acquisitions related at all question. Does anybody use Open Athens for their authentication? No. Okay, I'm just trying to find some library that does, because we want to see what it looks like. Okay,
I wonder
it is.
You might check with Micah. It seems like she talked about Open Athens at one point.
Yeah, I had that thought too. I will. Okay, I got her contact somewhere.
Monique in chat says that they will be in 2023.
Ooh, okay. All right, that's good to know. All right. All right. And which library are you, Monique? I see your microphone mute icon went away, Monique, but I can't hear you.
Is this better?
There we go.
Okay. We're 4 colleges in Vermont that are going to be combining as one. We're going to be
Okay.
the Vermont State University, and we will be using Open Athens. We're
Okay.
planning on it. So we're in the process of trying to figure out how to do it.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. All right. Yeah, we've just started looking at it. Not sure yet. But, okay. All right. Well, everyone have well, if you're in the States, happy Thanksgiving. And we will see you in December, I think. So.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.